Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Miss M. Welcome. How is everyone checking in? You've reached our Mandala universes, where we gather every day at 10 a.m. Central Time in the US. And we gather to ground, to breathe, to hold space, and we draw mandalas. And mandala is the Sanskrit term for circle. And in those circles, we put our internal weather, whatever we are feeling at the time. Sometimes they're fun and shiny. And it's a way to sit down with ourselves and let our emotions free. Let them flow through us instead of holding on to certain ones. Let's do that. And we're glad you're here. This nice, sunny, cold Monday morning in the UP. Kathy is here. Hi, sister, friends. Deb, good morning. Checking in headachy for the second day. Oh no, Deb. I hope you find some relief. Glad you could make it though. And Za is here. Good morning. Za's checking in, happy to be here and drop into creative space with you all. A corner of sanity. Yes. And Miss M, funny how it takes a while to let me comment. Yeah, I've noticed that. It does that for me too. Deb says, turning into my favorite time of day though. And Elaine is here. Good morning. I wonder if Michelina is logged into our Mandala universes. Whoever it is. Says I like corner of sanity's yeah. Michelina. It's typically you, so I think it's definitely. It's alright. And Susanna is here. Good morning or afternoon. She says, hello, just passing by. I'm preparing for my night shift. Amy says, I like that too, Za. And you're getting lots of highs, Susanna. Hello, goodbye. Glad you could pop in. We hope to see your smiling face sometime soon. But we hope you have a wonderful day at work. Evening, rather. Ash is just sunning in, if you can see him. He is enjoying the sunshine. And this is the rest of my studio. There's a lot going on. Let's see. Amy says, checking in, feeling loved. Good. Michelina says, checking in, spiritually refreshed. I am venturing out of the house today. I'm gonna go visit a friend. It's like an hour away. And my cleanest is high, Susanna. Loved. And Pamela's checking in grateful. Just finding something to read. Let's see. Cheryl is here. Good morning, Cheryl. Not looking anything there. If there's any other check-ins, you're welcome to share those. Otherwise, we will transition into grounding. So all of you know the drill. Find a comfortable spot wherever you are. Start noticing your breath. How it just naturally inhales and exhales without us having to consciously think about it. Kathy is checking in busy. Well, hopefully you find a minute of calm with us. And with a soft gaze or your eyes closed, just start noticing the here and the now. Maybe there's sounds in the distance. Maybe you can smell coffee. Maybe you can taste coffee or your chai tea, as I know many of us drink. And inhale through your nose, hold at the top, and then exhale with a sigh. Or maybe you need a pillow and you can scream into that. Whatever feels good, whatever your body needs right now. No feeling is final. No action is good or bad. It just is. And maybe as you bring in that inhale on this next one, maybe your shoulders will clench up with it. And release and drop those shoulders. And I'm going to pick a card from this lovely deck that I got. It's a card deck for feeling feelings, for understanding and navigating emotions. And I got this deck when I was in Portland visiting Deb. Gone out shopping. I'm going to pick one. I'm gonna pick two. I'm gonna pick one that is specific anger, and then they have wild cards, and I'm gonna pick one of the wild cards. Maybe give us some more insight. So I got this one, and this one is curiosity. So I'll read the first one, which is anger. You got this. Let's externalize anger. If you were to give anger a shape, color, or a voice, what would it look like and sound like? If you were sitting in a room with your anger, how would you feel in its presence? Empowered? Embarrassed? Justified? Guilty? Now ask yourself, would it feel okay to encircle anger with compassion for all the jobs it takes on in your life? Try it out. Tell anger that you know it's coming to the party, but it doesn't have to pick the soundtrack. It can offer you data along the way, but above all, you got this. Tell anger that you know it's coming to the party, but it doesn't have to pick the soundtrack. Or does it? And I will post that. And our second card is curiosity. Exploration, discovery, and love of all things new. Curiosity is a key emotion to connection with when we're working to create a new relationship with some of our emotions. Each time you're aware of a new emotion coming up today, can you invite in curiosity? Let your curiosity ask, what message or data is this emotion offering? While our emotions can offer really helpful data, sometimes they prioritize efficiency over accuracy. This means that not every thought tied to our emotion is true. Take a moment to thank curiosity for helping to create enough space to help you determine what's helpful and what's not. It's great to have curiosity in the mix. While our emotions can offer really helpful data, sometimes they prioritize efficiency over accuracy. That's the wild card that I drew. So anger and curiosity. And if you haven't already opened your eyes, I invite you to come to the page. Come to your journals, as many of us have, to the space where anything goes, where anything is welcome, where you're allowed to let it flow out of you without judgment. There may be hesitation, but definitely not inclusive or exclusive. Not exclusive. All feelings are welcome. And I like to draw my circle with an in-breath and an out-breath. Today is Monday, January 26th. I just can't believe that January's gone already. 26th, 2026. 01/26/2026. Catch up on some comments. Cheryl is checking in, questioning. Elaine says, checking in with therapeutic steam for my coffee, making me stop and breathe in the aroma. So lovely. My Sam says, here for the low key, you do you release. Yeah. There's no forcing. Everyone needs to come to their own. Oh, Cindy is here. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you're here. Good to see you. Elaine says, hi, Miss M. Cheryl is referring to Elaine's therapeutic steam. And Meta is here. Hi, Meta. Miss M says, hi, Cheryl and Meta. Lots of highs back and forth. And Cheryl is asking Meta, how are you healing? I hope well. We have about 10 minutes left to draw. And find that certain mediums just lend itself to certain emotions. Meta says, hi Cheryl, thanks for asking. The healing is going well. Saw a surgeon today and he was pleased, but will take at least 4 more months. Oh man. Glad it's healing well though. And Miss M says, here for the scribble session. Well, you know, sometimes you just, that's the best way to let it out. I know anger is definitely one of my not so easy emotions to express. It tends to get trapped inside. Been so grateful for the sunshine the last few days in this cold weather. That is one perk. This winter here is generally pretty sunny. As opposed to like Portland, cloudy winters. at least in my experience. Not quite sure what is happening. I'm in Mandala. Amanda says, was that ash? I don't think so. That little clicking, that's me, my paint pan. Ash is quietly sleeping, or on the floor, not really sleeping, but enjoying the sun. He finds the funniest spots to lay. I'll show you. There he is. On the ground. Cutie. We have 5 minutes left. Definitely like our animals in this group. And why wouldn't we? Animals are so precious. Meta saying hi. Ash, you're getting lots of eyes. They want to see you. Pamela says, my mandala is rather disgusting with anger surrounded by pus and then pink. Trying to hold it in love, a very process-oriented drawing today. Yeah. It is difficult to hold some of it. To love it still. But I think if all the women got angry enough, things would change, maybe. This golden barrier that surrounds my piece. Not barrier, this loving embrace. It's very shiny today. Let's see. Meta says choosing the most perfect sunny spot. Yes, he is. Miss M says pink, chartreuse, violet, aqua scribbles. My anger has curiously rainbow colors these days. I think it takes all forms, right?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Michelina says mine is a shape of anger and it is red hot and sharp. Deb says all coral reef today. I see regeneration. That's awesome. Meta says my anger is explosive and wild. Mandala of many colors. I'm gonna read this card again for anyone who might have missed it. This is the anger card, one of them. And it says, you got this. Let's externalize anger. If you were to give anger a shape, color, or a voice, what would it look like and sound like? If you were sitting in a room with your anger, how would you feel in its presence? Empowered, embarrassed, justified, guilty? Now ask yourself, would it feel okay to encircle anger with compassion for all the jobs it takes on in your life? Try it out. Tell anger that you know it's coming to the party, but it doesn't have to pick the soundtrack. It can offer you data along the way, but above all, you got this. Michelina said, I am so proud of us for allowing ourselves to express anger. Miss M says there's a warm yellow enveloping the circle. Heart the circle. Yes. And Amy says, your words suit my mandala too, Meta. Deb says, picking my soundtrack today. And this is my mandala. Very fitting. Sharp, pointy, kind of chaotic. But there's this green shimmer and a golden light. Maybe as protection, maybe as a barrier, shield, I don't know. But it's important, I think. I'm glad you all could be here. Excuse me, it goes by too fast some days. But Amy says, can you please read first sentence of Curiosity 2? Yeah, I can do that. So, curiosity. Exploration, discovery, and a love of all things new. Curiosity is a key emotion to connect with when we're working to create a new relationship with some of our other emotions. Each time you're aware of a new emotion coming up today, can you invite in curiosity? Let your curiosity ask, what message or data is this emotion offering? While our emotions can offer really helpful data, sometimes they prioritize efficiency over accuracy. This means that not every thought tied to our emotion is true. Take a moment to thank curiosity for helping to create enough space to help you determine what's helpful and what's not. It's great to have curiosity in the mix. And as always, I will post those. Meta says, thank you, Laura. Needed this today. Yeah, I think we all do. And Pamela says, thanks for rereading. My words are release and then be held in love. Meta says, love how it's coming out of the mandala. Anger is chaotic. Yeah. Zah says, thank you all so much. The circle means so much. I agree. Thank you for being part of the circle, Zah. And thank you all for being part of this circle, as it wouldn't be a circle without you. Cheryl says, not rushing through my anger and grief, gathering its data. Yes. and lots of thank yous. You're welcome. You're welcome. Kathy says my words. What a mess. Thank you, Laura. You're welcome. I hope you take what you need with you today. Big hugs, of course. And until next time, take care.